This is the Tree of Life, Season 21, Chapter 4. In this episode, we will be explaining proprietary experience channels and how hierarchical natural law reflects segmentation of negational valence strings. Negational valence strings only become hierarchical at the terminal structures within the string. This is because preferential expectation matching, dialectical orientations with respect to the same two impulses, can only occur in the absence of coupling. A common valence, either affirmational or negational, always produces coupling. Thus, in strings which are produced by negational valence, only the terminal structures maintain preferential expectation matching and dialectical orientations to the same impulses. Dissonant spaces, comprised of parallel substitution events, produce negational valence strings, which are only dialectical in the terminal structures of the strings. This means that they do create outgroups, or are exclusionary, but to all those not privy to the negational valence. But hierarchies are not inherently linked to negational valence strings. Hierarchies require only that there be segmentation, to produce preferential expectation matching and preserve the hierarchy. This preferential expectation matching can be imposed either during substitution events, through force or authority compelling acquiescence upon the vessel, to preserve an allocation. Or they can be maintained by priority in reverse substitution, through a reversed priority, that is, for example, in the case of parental investment. Typically, the lower in the hierarchy assumes the position of incoming consciousness for the higher, whilst the higher obtains the fruits of the incoming consciousness labors. But in reversed priority, i.e. in parental investment, the authority becomes the incoming consciousness for the lower. Such flipping back and forth in priority is preserved by the application of force or authority to the vessel in substitution events. In other words, the priority permits the parental figure to become the incoming consciousness during reverse substitution, but preserve their own priority through the application of force or authority in substitution events. Thus, the reversed priority is limited and transient. Pivoting between hierarchies determines which vessels for which you become an incoming consciousness. It also determines your allocations and the enforcement of those allocations. Affirmational valence tends to produce coupling with atomization. Hierarchies enforce allocations by the movement of a digital structure of negational valence to the analog stream, becoming affirmational. It begins by flipping the phase of the adjacent structures within the digital stream from negational to affirmational, segmenting the string. Thus, hierarchies recapitulate through segmentation resulting from preferential expectation matching. Proprietary experience channels are thus created by linking of force or authority to maintain priority within substitution events, to reversed priority within reverse substitution. In this fashion, proprietary experience channels represent a cycle of reversed priority and enforcement of allocations, through the recapitulation of segmentation. Since segmentation permits the flowing of the digital stream, movement of consciousness from vessel to vessel through tautological natural law, proprietary experience channels ensure atomization. So we see that hierarchical natural law and tautological natural law require common ends. The enforcement problem cannot be solved without hierarchy, which ensures tautological flow. Since tautological natural law is only affirmational, it cannot compel compliance in substitution, but only produce coupling through acquiescence. That's the end of the podcast for today.